2 games.
Yeah, I think over the years they've, you Roy and I, or Dean and I, have understood that our games are going to be in what they call the sweeps, or how they do their TV things, uh, which then produces sponsors and money and TV packages and whatever. So it's just part of the lay of the land. And uh, when you had a double round robin, you still were able to. The regular season would be more clearly defined, and now it's always skewed a little bit. And but that so be it, And but we'd rather have all the attention, I think, than not have it.
Mike, Carolina tends to be a good rebounding team. This year is no exception. How do you counter that strength with it?
No, you got to go for the ball. I mean, they're terrific. They have 3 seniors on their team who've been through it, and a couple juniors, and they're starting 8. They're 8, not starting 8, but their rotation of 8. And so they've been through the wars and have won most of them, and historically they've been outstanding. So we just have to try to counter that. There's no set strategy. Ball's up there, go and get it.
What's your impressions of Kobe White, how he's playing, and how Trey may impact?
Yeah, well, he's played great for him. A key for them throughout the years, the decades, really, of Carolina basketball has been the advancement of the ball offensively after makes, misses, or turnovers, and it's been as good an advancement as any. And you need a guy who can advance it, and he does it about as quick. I mean, Roy and them, they could probably compare, but he does it as fast as anybody that we've played against at Carolina, and then he does it in a different way because then he's a scorer, and then after he advances it, if you lose him, he's an outstanding shooter. So he's been one of the best players in the league and in the country, really, and he's a real deal.
You guys have Trey, and they have Kobe, who's gotten the defensive award for them several times. Is it becoming more uncommon to find point guards that are prepared to guard at this level when they come in as freshmen?
No, I don't know just what level that you prepare. I think I think the so-called point guard is no longer. I wouldn't call Kobe White a point guard. I call him an outstanding player who advances the ball, and he can play anywhere. Trey is a little bit more of the so-called point guard, but actually where basketball's at is kind of like where I wanted it to be at decades ago. Where you didn't introduce guards and forwards and a center. And we've been playing that way since the late '80s, and that's the way it is now. To really put, what are you going to call Luke May? What do you call him? Except a great player. And that's it's not like baseball that there's a third baseman, or, in football there's a center. And our game has players, and they have good players, and we have really good players too. So that's why it should be a really good game. Yeah, sensational. He's he reminds me a little bit of Klay Thompson in that he doesn't need to dribble. I think against Wake in his 7 makes, I think he dribbled once, and that was in transition. He just did. It didn't get him anywhere, just get him balance. And so when a guy's ready to shoot that quick and he's 6'8", 6'9", it's a heck of a weapon. He's had a great year. Not a good year. He's had a great year. He's one of the best players in the conference. And I don't know how you pick all conference and all that, man. That's you guys have a difficult job. It's going to keep you up at night, and You're going to painstakingly try to do it, but you can. I know that you can.
It's not a challenge, it's an opportunity.
It's you know, it's not even it's an amazing opportunity to and then for you to publish what you do and put it out there, just, you know, so it stands the test of constructive criticism.
Coach Roy Williams said yesterday, he described this rivalry one word by describing it as vicious, but you know, he kind of backed that up by saying it has a healthy competition to it. And I think everybody sees the respect that these two teams have for each other in this rivalry. Your thoughts on that as far as why this rivalry has so much respect, but at the same time, once that ball...
Yeah, well, it's incredibly unique, and that just the fact that you could have two of the 4 or 5 best programs in the history of sport right here, you know, and then the level, the programs have produced championships and excellence and pros, and you know, and it's never really disappointed, the game. You know, they're just great games, and so to be a part of that as a player or a coach, you should be honored to be a part of it. And you know, that's how I feel. This is my 39th year of doing it, and the first few years wasn't as much of an honor, you know, but since then it's been.
Along those lines, there's rumors that President Obama is going to be there on game day,
Yeah.
and just the people that show up for this game. I mean, what is it like for you and the kids to have a list of people like that showing up?
Yeah, you know, I never know who's coming. You know, I try not to let that be what I'm thinking of. But you know, look, anybody can show up here because it's a bucket list thing. You know, and it's a bucket list just to do a game in Cameron. But Duke and Carolina and Cameron, it's one of those great sporting events. So. You know, you can expect anything here.
Mike, I got a bit of an oddball question.
Version of ACC basketball starting in the 80s.
Yeah, well, huge. I mean, it was nobody in the country had primetime TV. Like you didn't watch you didn't watch whatever was on. You know, it went 8 o'clock or whatever, right head to head with the other competition, and to give our sport that exposure at that time has led to the exposure we have today, and kept us ahead. You know, I still think the ACC is the best conference, and you know, with our tournament, the TV package, have been a pioneer in how the game has developed into what it's developed right now, and certainly Raycom has been an integral part of that.
Mike, I think it was the beginning of last year you talked about.
It's the thing that they're still learning is the emotional toll that it takes. Like this stretch, especially for us. Basically, we've had one real day off in about 7 weeks. You know, that we're not like a travel day where you come back and go to school. Sunday was their first. You have a day off NCAA-wise, but it's not a day off because you're going to school and you're traveling and all that. And that's difficult. You know, I don't know if and we got now this stretch where North Carolina go to Syracuse, then go, you know, that the 2 away games on a Saturday, Monday, or Saturday, Tuesday are probably something we should not do as a conference. You know, if you're going to be involved in that, one of them should be a home game, because that you know, it's difficult. Even for you all to do, it's difficult. And so we'll see where we finish off that, and then we'll take a little bit of time and then finish the last 3. And hopefully no injuries and whatever, and hopefully we're playing well during it.
So last week when you came back from Louisville, was Wednesday one of those sort of days off?
Yeah, but you're late. You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and they don't get to sleep, but even more importantly was Virginia. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. Is you get back 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't have Sunday off. They come in Sunday late morning. You're traveling on Monday. You're playing on Tuesday. You come back. Now we had a home game that helped against NC State, and it's like Virginia. The last 2 weekends, they've had a home Saturday and away Monday, but that's like they had us on Saturday and Carolina on Monday, but as long as one of them is a home game, I think that helps you. And that's what, and then I don't know, maybe a bunch of people are doing what we did. I haven't, it's not one of those things I fact checked, or I'm just telling you how we feel, or how I feel about it. And I'm sure someone else's, a few teams have done that, but because we're usually a big Tuesday, a Monday, or a game day, or whatever. It's different.
Roy said yesterday that this is the best Duke team he's faced in the 16 years he's been back. How does this group separate from other teams you've had in the past?
No, it's just a good team. You should just count on what Roy said and not me saying what I think of what Roy says. That he has his opinion, which is great because he's got a lot of great opinions. But no, we have another good team. I don't like to compare teams.